In this video, we're going to talk about something that keeps many older adults awake at night, the fear of falling. If you're in your 60s, 70s, or beyond, you know exactly what I'm talking about. That moment of hesitation before you step off a curb, that split second of worry when you're walking across a parking lot, that little voice in your head asking, "What if I lose my balance?" Here's what most people don't realize. It's not age that causes falls. It's the way we walk. And here's the incredible news. When you change just a few small things about how you move, you can dramatically reduce your risk of falling. In fact, physical therapists have identified specific-ish walking patterns that seniors who rarely or never fall all have in common. Today, I'm sharing 5 simple tricks that can transform the way you walk. These aren't complicated exercises. They don't require special equipment or a gym membership. They're small adjustments you can start using today, right in your own home. And when you practice them consistently, they build something even more valuable than safety. They build confidence. Before we dive in, I'd love to know, where are you watching from today? Drop your city or state in the comments below. And if you've ever had a close call with falling, or if you know someone who has, leave a comment about that too. Your story might help someone else feel less alone. All right, let's get into these 5 life-changing walking tricks. Trick number 1, the wide base rule. Let's start with something that sounds almost too simple to matter: the width of your stance. Most people don't think twice about how far apart their feet are when they walk. But here's what physical therapists have discovered. Seniors who never fall tend to walk with their feet slightly wider apart than those who struggle with balance. Think about it this way. When you stand with your feet close together, you're balanced on a narrow base, like trying to stand on a tightrope. But when your feet are shoulder-width apart, you create a stable foundation, like standing on solid ground. Let me tell you about Margaret, a 74-year-old woman I met at a community center. She told me she used to feel wobbly every time she walked, especially when she turned corners or reached to eat for something. Her physical therapist taught her one simple thing: walk like a penguin. Now, I don't mean waddle. What I mean is this: instead of placing one foot directly in front of the other in a straight line, let your feet stay about hip-width apart as you walk. Imagine you're walking on 2 parallel lines instead of one single line. At first, Margaret said it felt strange, almost like she was taking up too much space. But within just a few days, something remarkable happened. She stopped wobbling. Her balance felt solid. She could turn corners without that scary feeling of tipping over. Here's how you can try it right now. Stand up and walk across your living room. Notice where your feet land. Are they close together, almost touching? Now, try again, this time keeping your feet about as wide as your hips. Feel the difference? That stable, grounded feeling? That's what proper base width does for you. This one small adjustment gives your body more room to balance and makes every step you take more confident and secure. Trick 2, the turn and stop rule. Now, here's something most people never realize. One of the most dangerous moments in walking isn't when you're moving forward, it's when you're turning. Falls don't usually happen on nice straight paths. They happen when you pivot to answer the door, when you turn around to grab something, or when you change direction suddenly. And there's a reason for that. When you turn your body while you're still walking, your brain has to do 2 complicated things at once: keep you moving forward and rotate your body. For younger people, that's no problem. But as we age, trying to do both at the same time can overload your balance system. And that's when you stumble. Seniors who never fall have learned something crucial. They stop before they turn. Let me introduce you to Robert, an 81-year-old retired teacher. A few years ago, he tripped and fell in his hallway while turning to answer his phone. He wasn't hurt badly, but it shook him up. His doctor referred him to a physical therapist who taught him this exact rule: stop, plant your feet, then turn. Now, every time Robert needs to change direction, whether it's to reach for a cup in the kitchen or turn around in the grocery store, he does 3 things. First, he comes to a complete stop. Second, he makes sure both feet are firmly on the ground. Third, he turns his whole body, not just his upper half. It takes maybe 1 extra second, but that 1 second has prevented countless falls. Try practicing this at home. Walk toward your kitchen, then stop completely before turning toward the counter. Walk down your hallway, then stop before turning into the bathroom. Make it a habit. Train your brain to separate walking from turning. This simple rule keeps your balance system focused on one task at a time, which means you stay steady, stable, and in control. Trick number 3, the toe clearance check. Here's something that happens so gradually, most people don't even notice it. As we get older, we start shuffling. Our feet don't lift as high off the ground as they used to. Maybe our legs feel heavier, or maybe we're just being extra careful. But whatever the reason, when your toes barely clear the floor, you're setting yourself up for trips and falls. Think about all the small obstacles in your home: the edge of a rug, the lip of a doorway, an electrical cord, a slightly uneven tile. When you're shuffling, your toes can catch on any of these, and before you know it, you're stumbling forward. Physical therapists call this reduced toe clearance, and it's one of the biggest risk factors for falls. But here's the good news. You can retrain your body to lift your feet properly. Let me share a story about Helen, a 69-year-old grandmother who tripped over her grandkids' toys 3 times in 1 month. She felt embarrassed and started avoiding their visits. Her daughter convinced her to see a physical therapist who gave her a simple exercise. Every day, Helen practiced what's called high stepping for just 2 minutes. While holding on to her kitchen counter, she would march in place, lifting her knees high enough that her toes came well off the ground. Just 2 minutes a day. Within 2 weeks, Helen noticed something. When she walked normally, her feet were naturally lifting higher. She wasn't shuffling anymore, and she hasn't tripped since. You can do the same thing. Stand near a sturdy surface for support. March in place slowly, lifting each knee until your thigh is roughly parallel to the floor, or as high as feels comfortable. Do this for 1 to 2 minutes each day. Your muscles will remember, your brain will remember, and soon, that higher foot lift will become automatic. You'll step over rugs, thresholds, and obstacles without even thinking about it. This trick helps you move through your home and the world with the kind of clearance that keeps you safe from unexpected trips. If you're finding these tips helpful, do me a quick favor. Click that like button below this video. It helps more seniors discover these fall prevention strategies, and together we can help more people stay safe and independent. Trick number 4, the sit-to-stand power move. Now let's talk about a moment that might surprise you. One of the riskiest times for falling isn't while you're walking at all. It's when you're standing up from a chair. Think about how many times a day you go from sitting to standing, getting out of bed, rising from the dinner table, standing up from your favorite armchair. Each one of those moments requires strength, balance, and coordination. And if any of those things are weak, that's when you can feel dizzy, unsteady, or even fall backward. Seniors who never fall have mastered what physical therapists call the power stand. And once you learn it, it changes everything. Here's the technique. When you're ready to stand up, scoot forward until you're sitting near the edge of the chair. Place both feet flat on the floor, about hip width apart, and pull them back slightly so they're underneath your knees. Lean forward from your hips, not your waist. Bring your nose over your toes. Then push through your heels and stand up in one smooth, controlled motion. Let me tell you about James, an 83-year-old veteran who used to struggle every time he got up from his recliner. He'd rock back and forth 2 or 3 times, then push off with his hands, and even then, he'd feel wobbly. His daughter worried constantly. A physical therapist taught James this exact technique. At first, it felt awkward, but after practicing it just a few times a day for a week, something clicked. James could stand up smoothly, confidently, without the rocking or the wobbling. He told me it made him feel 20 years younger. The reason this works is simple. When you lean forward, you bring your center of gravity over your feet, where you're strongest. When you push through your heels, you engage your powerful leg muscles, not just your arms. Practice this every single time you stand up. Make it a habit. And if you need to use your hands for a little extra push, that's perfectly fine. Just make sure you're doing the forward lean first. This one move builds strength, improves balance, and gives you the power to stand up confidently every single time. Trick number 5, the balance reset pause. Here's the final trick, and it might be the most important one of all. In our busy lives, we're always rushing. Even as we get older, we feel this pressure to move quickly, to keep up, to not slow anyone down. But here's the truth. Rushing is one of the main reasons people fall. When you move too fast, your body doesn't have time to adjust. Your balance system gets overwhelmed. Your muscles can't react quickly enough. And that's when accidents happen. Seniors who never fall have learned to build in what I call balance reset pauses. These are tiny moments throughout the day where they stop, check in with their body, and make sure they're steady before moving on. Here's how it works. Anytime you transition from one position to another, pause for just 1 or 2 seconds. When you stand up from sitting, pause. When you step out of the car, pause. When you get out of bed in the morning, pause. When you finish bending down to pick something up, pause. That brief moment gives your body time to find its center. It lets your blood pressure stabilize if you've been sitting. It allows your brain to process where you are in space. And most importantly, it gives you a chance to feel whether you're truly steady or if you need to hold on to something for support. I'll never forget Susan, a 76-year-old woman who fell twice in 1 month. Both times, she was in a hurry. Once rushing to answer the phone, once hurrying to the bathroom. After the second fall, she decided enough was enough. She made herself a promise. No more rushing. Now, Susan builds in pauses everywhere. She pauses after standing. She pauses before walking. She even pauses at doorways. She told me, adding 2 seconds to everything I do has taken away years of fear. Those 2 seconds aren't wasted time. They're invested time. Time that keeps you safe, confident, and in control. So, starting today, give yourself permission to pause. There's no prize for hurrying, but there is a prize for staying steady, and that prize is your independence. So, there you have it. 5 powerful walking tricks that can completely change your relationship with balance and safety. Let's quickly recap what we've covered today. First, the wide base rule. Keep your feet hip-width apart to create a stable foundation with every step you take. Second, the turn and stop rule. Always come to a complete stop before changing direction, so your balance system can focus on one thing at a time. Third, the toe clearance check. Lift your feet higher by practicing high-stepping exercises so you can step over obstacles without tripping. Fourth, the sit-to-stand power move. Lean forward, push through your heels, and stand up with strength and control every single time. And fifth, the balance reset pause. Give yourself 1 or 2 seconds to check in with your body before moving on, especially during transitions. Each of these tricks might seem small on its own, but together they create something powerful. They create a new way of moving through the world, a way that's safer, steadier, and filled with confidence. Here's what I want you to remember. Falling is not inevitable. It's not just part of getting older. Most falls can be prevented when you understand how your body works and what it needs to stay balanced. Your best steps aren't behind you. They're still ahead. Every time you practice one of these tricks, you're proving something important to yourself. You are still strong, you are still capable, and you are still in control. Now, I'd love to hear from you. Which of these 5 walking tricks will you try first? Will it be the wide base, the turn and stop rule, or maybe the balance reset pause? Share your answer in the Ekivis comments below. Your comment might inspire someone else watching this right now to take that first step towards safer walking. And if this video helped you, please give it a like, hit that subscribe button for more senior, higher fitness, and fall prevention tips, and share this video with a friend or loved one who wants to stay strong, steady, and independent. Walking safely isn't just about preventing falls. It's about living fully, moving freely, and enjoying every precious day with the people you love. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Stay steady, stay strong, and keep moving forward.